How are you, bud?
How's it going, all right?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Very well. There we go, is that? Not too bad. Oh, it's going to fall over. Close enough. There we go.
So, how's things?
Good. Very well, thank you. For a Monday, another day in lockdown here in England. You know, they're kind of blending into each other, aren't they, one after another? But
yeah,
can't complain.
The weekends just don't exist anymore, really. For me, anyway, they don't exist. So, yeah, it's not ideal, but there we go. It's what it is. I'm just going to get this a little situated a little better. There we go. So, yeah, man, it's another lockdown day, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, another day. You just got to try and keep it fresh, ain't you, really, and just try and stay sane and stay safe, and that's the main thing, really. And we'll be out there soon enough. Hopefully, you never know. But I reckon maybe in a month's time, fingers crossed, we'll be out playing golf.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I'm hoping that they're going to look at all restrictions and all that sort of stuff when it comes to middle of Feb and go, no, we can give the golfing guys a bit of a pass and get them out there, because man, it is needed, really needed.
Big time. Well, even I don't know if you saw Rick Shields put out a video today about mental health and golf. And
I haven't seen it. I saw someone. I think it was Golf Hipster had it on his story, so I saw that, but I haven't seen it yet. I have to admit, I do most of my YouTube viewing first thing in the morning. So yeah, which coincidentally we're going to get onto it, obviously. But I did watch your video this morning, so
but
yeah,
she's very productive.
Doing the job that I do, and the fact that I'm now not able to do it, obviously gives me a lot of, I want to say, free time, because I dedicate quite a bit of time to Instagram and YouTube and that side of things, but it's not like I'd be going to work all the time. So I do get that time to consume quite a bit of content, shall we say.
Yeah. Even so, I bet it's so easy though to fall down the rabbit hole, and that little recommendation button, you can like, oh, where's that hour gone? I've just watched so many random things. But
it's for me. The problem is, for me, it's not just the hour. It's the how many hobnobs have I had as well in the time that I've been sat there. I mean, I must have done half a packet this morning. Absolutely ridiculous. So let's crack on. Let's get into this. So you sent me a message not too long ago, giving me a little bit of background on your life in general, what you've done as a job and that sort of stuff. So I think a lot of people watching would like to know a little bit more information of. But talk to me about your golfing history first off, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, no drama. All right, yeah, golfing history. Golfing history is not that exotic. I kind of most people, sorry, not most people. A lot of people get into golf when they stop playing football, and so kind of similar to me, really. I played golf quite a bit beforehand as a kid, but I was never a member of a club. I literally had one mate who played golf with me, and like we'd get on a bus and we'd started out going to like the pitch and putts around like Dagenham and stuff like around our way in Essex.
Yep.
And then when one of us could drive, then we started driving around and playing the local kind of open courses and stuff like that, the free courses. And then got more into football. Kind of golf took a back seat, to be honest. You know, played loads of football, played a lot of tennis at uni and stuff, but then got right into the football, playing Sunday league and stuff like that. And we play a bit of golf, but not loads. And then we all started kind of, you know, getting fed up chasing the younger kids on the Sunday league football kind of thing, like 18, 19-year-olds that are all fresh as a daisy, and we're 30, 31 pushing it, and it's getting harder and harder. So we all binned it off together at the same time, really, at football, and then we all joined the golf club, or some of us joined the golf club together. And so then we're members of a golf club, and now and since I've then like joined a society in the club, and so that's kind of it from there. I've always been just like my best man said in his best man speech, he's one of those really annoying people that I'm one of those really annoying people that I can like pick up a tennis racket or a badminton racket or a cricket bat or a golf club and just kind of play it. But I take my golf a lot more seriously now. I've kind of fallen right in love with it and having lessons, and I want to be as good as I can be, really.
So what handicap are you playing off now?
With the world handicap, it went down to 16. It should be lower than that, if I'm being entirely honest. I can shoot around that's better than that, but I'm having lessons and it's completely kind of like broken down my swing and come back again. So I would like to be, my aim is for single digits. I don't think I'll get it this year because I'm not entering enough competitions to even get there. But yeah, I think I can hopefully get that in single digits. I think.
And whereabouts do you play your golf mostly?
So I'm a member at Wally Park at the moment, which is in Brentwood in Essex.
Okay.
And then we just kind of play with like the kind of local courses around here. So play like trying to think of some of the names of the ones now. Like Toot Hill. I don't know if you've played Toot Hill before.
My golf in Essex is I've played because to be fair, I'm not actually that far from you.
I was going to say
I'm only the other bridge, but I used to work up at East Harts Golf Club up in Hertfordshire, and that's where I'm from. And so a few of the East Region events, we'd play a little bit around Essex. So obviously Essex is a massive county.
Yeah.
So, I've played Colchester, I've played Rayleigh, I've played the par 3 course at Ingraborn Links.
Yeah.
The PGA for the East Region actually had like an 18-hole tournament around that par 3 course, which was a really, really fun one.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think where else I've played. Orset, I've played. I really liked Orset. It's lovely.
Yeah.
But my around that area is not fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, to be honest, I'm not. My knowledge ain't that great either. To be honest, like we've got our select kind of courses that we play, and like we do golf trips, so we've played some of the bigger courses around the country. And I'm lucky enough with work that we do. There's like a work golf society, and so we do like a north, south, east, west of London every year. And so like places like Essendon, Surrey National, I've played a few times. Trying to think of some of the other ones, but that's kind of nice to get the chance to play some of the nicer courses. It's pretty cool.
My partner's brother-in-law is, I think he's now director of golf at Essendon. So I've played Essendon a good few times. So yeah, man, it's a very small world.
Yeah.
Golfing around here is a small world. Where is your sort of favourite place that you've played?
You know what? I'm not one of those at the moment that I'm not necessarily like a golfing purist. I'm more about playing with my friends and like having a good time. So it's those golfing trips that are the best for me. Like I know it's not perhaps the best, but like the Belfry, we've been to the Belfry like 5 or 6 times because it's great. It's almost like a stag do when you go away. Kind of like, you can play some good golf, you can have some beers, you can eat your food. They've got a nightclub on site, which is an interesting place at the best of times. But
I've frequented, yes.
Yeah, and then you wake up and you're hanging for the next tee, and we've had a couple of times where literally we've skipped breakfast, jumped straight to bed, and sprinted for that tee on the Derby course. And you thank God that you're playing the Derby course because it's like it's a little bit easier when you're hanging. But
definitely, I mean, we did one trip years back where. I can tell you how long it was. Rory McIlroy won the US Open at Congressional. So what was that? 2011. We went down to Perranporth down in Cornwall, and we stayed. We played the golf course, and they used to have. I don't know if they still do. They used to have static caravans on site, like in the middle of months of Junes, and you're effectively a member for the week, and you don't do tee times. You just rock up and queue for the tee, and so we had a group of, I want to say, 20 of us.
Blimey.
And then they had the bar open all night. You're treated as a member, so you get like 20% off in the bar. And then, it was just a great time. Just drunk a lot, played a lot of golf, and the course there is fantastic as well. So that was a cool trip. So going back to touch a little bit on you mentioned you get to play a little bit for work. I do want to delve into a little bit of your working life.
Yeah. And it's cool. I think it kind of it's almost kind of relevant to the channel a little bit.
That's why I ask. I don't ask for any other reason.
Yeah.
See that that has definitely had because your channel is very fun to view. You're not afraid in any way or form to have a laugh and a joke, and you obviously very clearly don't take life that seriously, which I think is fantastic, and I think that's why I ask.
Yeah, no worries. No, cheers. Thank you for saying that. I try to make the videos entertaining as much as possible, and I think maybe as we talk about it as well and go on a little bit, it's something that I want to focus on more. But to really make a review entertaining either you're having like an incredible day where you're like, for some reason, a little light bulb just keeps ticking you, and you just, because I don't script my videos, I literally just kind of, I use the products, I get used to them, I get a feel for them, and then I'll just say it. And so sometimes I'll finish and I'll go, oh, I should have said that. That would have been really funny, or that would have been really good. And sometimes it comes to you and you say it and it's like, oh, this is a really funny video. But yeah, so at the moment I work for an investment firm in London. So that's my full-time job and I love working there. And it's kind of, I work in a kind of legal team kind of thing. And so my background is that I've got a law degree, which is nothing to do with golf whatsoever. But I'm kind of, it's just kind of like, I think that's the side of me that likes doing reviews. And I get people saying, why do you do reviews and stuff like that? It's because I'm quite analytical and I like the technical aspect of stuff and breaking stuff down and whatever. So I think that's probably where that comes in. But a long time ago, kind of just after, actually halfway through my law degree, I was fed up with my law degree. I couldn't stand it. And I wanted to get as far away from it as possible. And so I went and become a holiday entertainer. I was a blue coat at Pontins. Never done any singing, any dancing, anything like that whatsoever. And I just went, you know what, that looks like a good laugh. Let's give it a try. And it turns out that actually just kind of like sparked a little fire. And all of a sudden there's me like singing and dancing and entertaining and MCing and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up doing that for on and off for about 3-4 years. Right. And I think that's kind of a little bit, it helps with the channel to kind of go, you know, like presenting and stuff, like talking to camera, trying to talk and be articulate and smile and all those little things sometimes that maybe people take for granted a little bit, as to you've got to be so expressive in your videos and you feel like you're being over the top, and then you watch it back and you're like, oh, it looks like I'm talking like this, and it's like you're a shrinking violet. So yeah, so that's my mates always kind of rib me about it, especially like playing football and stuff like that. Kind of, I'm always the first one up for karaoke and having a laugh, and kind of I don't mind being on a dance floor and mucking about and having a laugh and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's where I think I try to bring a bit more entertainment to the channel, really. And
definitely, I mean, especially your video that you did about Nike, or Nike as we say here, and it's nice to have a fellow Englishman. We can say.
Do you say Nike, or do you?
Someone, I'm not going to name the person may even be watching, I don't know, slid into my DMs who may or may not work for Nike over in the States, and kind of said, you know, you should really start calling it Nike. You should really start calling it Nike. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to mess with the dude who works there.
Yeah.
So, but I've kind of, I'll drop a Nike and I'll drop a Nike in a video. It's weird because, you know, looking at YouTube analytics and stuff, is you can see I get quite a lot of viewers from the States. So
yeah, the majority of mine are. Yeah.
When you look at that, you're like, actually, you know what? I could probably cater to them. It's not whether I say Nike or Nike. Me. So I'll say whatever people want. But if I can keep it, you know, both sides, rep for both sides, I think that's still Nike.
Someone sent me the picture because someone sent a letter to the CEO and said, which is it, Nike like bike or Nike like Nike? And literally just circled it, and he circled it and sent it back. That's all he put. He didn't put, like, he just put this one. So I was like, all right, fair enough. I'm still not calling it Puma yet. It's Puma to me, but even though I think it is technically Puma, that feels weird.
I'm never going to call it Puma. So you never want anything to sound like poo. That's definitely, I don't know, no chance. But the Nike thing is funny because it's just it doesn't make no odds to me. But the reason I mentioned that is because of your video that you did, where you did a sketch where you were pretending that you were on the phone to them, and there was another shoe came out, and like that's entertaining stuff. And I think that's so difficult for people to let themselves go that much on camera. From my personal experience, my first few videos, and I say this to everyone, if you're struggling to sleep in any way, shape or form, watch my first few videos, because they are so boring. It's incredible, because I'd never spoken to a camera before, and you don't know that you can talk as if you're just talking to one of your mates.
Yeah.
It's different when it's just you in the room. Sometimes I've had a few videos where my fiance will stand at the other side of the camera and she might help me with some camera work or something like that, and I can almost talk to her about the product. We've only done like one or two that way, but it kind of helped a little bit to go, oh, there's a little bit more personality. It's so difficult, and that's what I think, you know, your past brings so much of that to your channel, and I think that's really beneficial because it comes across in the videos.
Cheers, thank you. That's kind of the ethos and what I have in the back of my mind with the channel, and a bigger driver for doing it almost. Mm-hmm. And it's where I want to push the channel going forward as well, really. So I've started to do some course vlogs, which I really enjoy, and there's something different. But exactly as you kind of hit on, even doing a course vlog, I feel more entertained because I'm out on the course, and I'm, you know, rather than being stuck in. At the moment, I film my videos in my little boy's bedroom, kind of, because that's the best wall to film it on.
Yeah.
But even then, trying to be entertaining when you're on your own, holding your camera with your bag, and it's cold and it's wet, and it's like, oh. So I'm hoping that, fingers crossed, I'm going to get a few more people kind of on the channel and actually do stuff out and about, because obviously I want to stay doing the reviews because that's important to me, and I think that's I see the value in that, and personally I feel the satisfaction of telling people my honest opinions of the product, whether it's good or bad or something they just need to be aware of. But I think I want to kind of balance the two, to go, okay, well, here's the review stuff, and I'll try and make it entertaining, and some can be more entertaining than others. And here's the fun stuff. If you really want to see, hopefully I can try and be a bit more fun and get some mates. I've got a few mates that are kind of like me and outgoing and energetic and stuff like that, and bring more people into the channel. So, you know, I'd love to get you on the channel. I'd love to have around with you on the course and kind of have a bit of banter. And almost like some of the stuff that I see on YouTube, that what I prefer to watch is not necessarily the course vlogs where someone just plays the game. Mm-hmm. Like, I like the ones like where they'll do something really weird with it, like GM Golf is amazing for this. And to be fair, you know, they've got the money and the backing and the experience and the time to do this kind of stuff. But I see one where they were smashing golf balls at their mate's old car and like hitting the balls. Right, I'll give you £100 if you get the ball through the window. You don't see that. Like, no. And they had such a laugh doing it, and it made me laugh watching it. Not saying that I now want to smack golf balls at a car. It's not necessarily what I'm saying, but that's where I'd love to push the channel. I think kind of 50-50.
So talk to me a little bit about starting the channel, starting the page. How long have you been going for now, and sort of what was the reason for starting?
So the channel technically has been going for, I think it's coming up to 2 years in April, is like officially when I launched it. But the thing is that I was looking for a pair of spikeless golf shoes 2 years ago, and I bought a pair of the FootJoy Flex. And I bought loads of golf shoes, to be fair, up to that. And I was just sending them back going, no, not for me, not right, not for me. And I bought the FootJoy Flex. And then I noticed that there wasn't a single review that said the things that I wanted to know after I bought the shoe. And I was like, okay, well, I can see why this is a good shoe. But equally, I can see why this shoe isn't for me, because it fits a little bit wide in this part, and the material's not quite what I was looking for. It's going to get pretty dirty pretty quick or something like that. And you know, the grip maybe isn't as aggressive as what I needed at the time. I want a spike golf shoe for the whole year round. And I kind of went, that doesn't exist. And I watched loads of trainer reviews and stuff like that, like, you know, all the people that we watch. And I watched loads of tech reviews because I'm big into my tech and gaming and that kind of stuff, and I'm geeky in that way. So I filmed it just literally on my phone, grabbing it, and like, I'm not even on camera. I literally just filmed the shoes for about 30 seconds. And then realised that there was iMovie on my wife's Mac. And so I went, okay, all right. And I did a 3-minute review of that video, and I spoke over it. Just did a quick voiceover going, here's what I like, here's what I don't. Cool. And I forgot about it. I literally didn't do anything with it. And I went, whatever. And I looked, and it had like 3,000 views, like a month later or something like that, or 2 months later. And it literally, like a little light bulb just went, if there's 3,000 people that have watched this god-awful video, and if anyone's interested, feel free to go back, because it is terrible, absolutely terrible. I thought, well, maybe there is something in it, and it's a chance to be creative. It's a hobby that I actually now really enjoy, and teaches me new things and learn new stuff and gets you being creative and put something out there. And ultimately, if it becomes a hobby that earns you a little bit of pocket money as well, then brilliant. Like, that's the best kind of hobby. It's not costing me money. I'm breaking even at the moment with the money that I'm just putting back in the channel that I'm getting for it. So we'll see if we can grow it. And now I'm almost, I guess I'm probably the same as you in that I've been bitten by that YouTube bug, and I want now to improve every video and go, right, okay, well, I can do this better, or here's my target and I'm going to get to it, and all those kind of little things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of grown from there, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely for me, I've the monetary side of things, you know, it's nice. It's, to tell you the truth, it's a very little. It's a revenue stream that I have at the moment. I don't have a massive revenue stream at the moment. With, you know, I'm furloughed from my shop wages, but if anyone knows about PGA professionals, if you're not earning your teaching money, there's not a lot of money to be made. So for me, there's lots of HMRC stuff to go, which I'm not going to go through now. But, you know, the YouTube side, and then it does give you that inspiration to go, do you know what, like, I want to make the videos look better. I want to make the content better. I want the audio to be better. Like, you just want to, and I take a lot of inspiration from the sneaker world of YouTube and how to videos and stuff. And I've invested in kit beyond, like, I don't need half the stuff I've got, but it's one of those things that I enjoy doing it, so I don't mind spending the money on that softbox or that light or that whatever it might be. I don't mind spending the money because I just enjoy making the videos. And for me, it's always been, if I help one person buy that one pair of shoes and they love that one pair of shoes, then that's kind of my job is done, really. And it's just nice that as it grows, you feel like you're able to help people more in those buying decisions on a wider, larger scale.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You kind of hit the nail on the head. Like, there's a couple of videos that I've got that I get some nice comments on, and I know I've done one on a watch. I won't name the brand or whatever. It's on my YouTube channel. You can go find it. But there's a GPS watch, and I reviewed it. They sent it to me, and I was like, okay, I really like this. I really like that. Cool. And when I got using it, I realised that although it says it's got Bluetooth, there's no connectivity to get your scores that you track off of the watch. So I was like, well, and I looked through all the reviews online and kind of went, am I missing something? Am I literally missing something? And then I was like, no, just no one's brought it up. And to me, I'm like, no, that's quite an important thing, because if you're intending to use this watch and track your figures, it means you've got to still use your scorecard. You can't use it how you think you'd be able to use it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get one of those comments, like, it's amazing. It's like, right, that video has literally served its purpose. So that one person possibly has made a better purchasing decision because of something that they might not have known. And then it kind of makes it worthwhile. So that's the key driver of it, because sometimes people ask you and go, mate, you're reviewing golf shoes. Like, how boring is your life so that you want to review golf shoes? But I think there is totally benefit in it when you see, you know, we're not getting massive viewing figures. Let's be real here. Like, in the world of sneaker Instagram, it's not huge. But even so, like, I posted a video today, and it's very, very small numbers, but like 400 people nearly in the first 8 hours have watched that video. So, well, 400 people were interested enough to know, and hopefully I've helped some of them make a better choice, kind of thing. Yeah. And now I think hopefully this is kind of given me a platform to use, and I've seen it, and I'm going to start putting out more entertaining content, because I think that's something that personally I look to and go, yeah, that interests me, and I think it's something we could do, hopefully.
Yeah, and for me, that it's always boiled down to, I make the videos that I want to make. There's never been anyone who's told me you need to make this video, or you need to do this, or you should, you know, this type of video is getting loads, like, good viewing figures at the moment. You should make one that looks like that. And I'm like, I've always just made the videos that I want to make, and it sounds like weirdly selfish, but if I don't want to make it, then no one's going to want to watch it.
Yeah.
The channel has always been for me. My Instagram page is always for me. And I said, like, if anyone doesn't like the type of videos that they are, or the product that it is, like, that's fine. Like, there's other people that you could go and watch, but, you know, it's one of those things. I do it because I enjoy it, and hopefully you just hope that comes across in the content. If you don't enjoy it, what's the point?
Yeah, I think I think, how would I say this? I think that's totally important. I think it depends upon everyone's personal motivations. And you're absolutely right. If you're doing it for you and it's your own personal documentation of whatever you're interested in and this is your passion at the moment, then, as you say, it doesn't matter whether one person watches it or a million people watches it. You're doing it for you. And also something I didn't say as well before, which is genuinely true for me. The more I started doing these videos, like my son was born after about my 10th video or something like that. And genuinely, it felt a little bit like I was doing something to put something in the world as a legacy. And I know it sounds silly. It's not an amazing legacy. But if YouTube's still around in 5, 10, 20, whatever years' time, he will be able to point to some of my videos and get really, really bored by a lot of them. But some of them go, oh, that's quite funny. Like, oh, my old man did this, or he fell down a hole, and that was quite funny. Or, just something. Hopefully, you'll be proud of it one day. So that kind of also harks back to why I do it. I'm a little bit doing it because at the moment he doesn't know what the hell is going on, kind of thing. But there is an element of, and I'll say this, like people are watching it more from a YouTube perspective rather than the golf, which they're not. From a YouTube perspective, if you're treating it as a business, there is an element, and can be an element of, you should be doing what the audience wants, not necessarily what you want. Not saying you're wrong. I'm not being argumentative or anything like that. But 100%, if you're looking at YouTube or you're looking at social media and you want to do it as a business and as a strategy and something to really drive, sometimes you have to take those hits and go, you know what? This is a video that is going to get views, and you just swallow it to kind of move your platform on to the next step. And I always find that as a really kind of interesting thing to kind of bear in mind. Because if I did my channel and went out and just did golf vlog after golf vlog, no one would ever watch that. Like, my favourite video that I've got, and I think possibly my funniest in terms of content and entertainment, has got 200 views. And I did it like a year ago. And I can't get anyone to watch that video for love and money. Anyone that watches it goes, mate, that's brilliant, that's hilarious. And so, oh, cheers, thanks a lot. I put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it. But I did it for me, kind of, because I thought it was what I would want to watch, But the world doesn't want to watch an indoor putting competition,
Well, and that's where I think the more you're consistent and the more you turn up, the more you're going to find those people that don't necessarily tune in for the product that you're talking about. They tune in more to see you, and I think that's definitely something that I think we all aspire to. Is these new FootJoy shoes are great, but you want those people tuning in to engage with you and to view you as well. So you touched there on one of your favourite videos. Talk to me about a couple of your favourite videos that you've got on the channel.
So that one, there's a putt out competition that I did with that Aussie guy. He's on Instagram. He's a really great guy. He lives literally down the road from me. And we did this video where we did like a professional style putting competition. Like, I commented on it, did a voiceover. I don't know. Who knows? It's probably rubbish. It makes me laugh. It made my wife laugh, and that's normally like a good barometer because she's like, "You're not funny. This is boring." So that's one of them that I'm quite proud of. Funny enough, there's other ones like I did a rangefinder review where I was really happy with the content, and I was out on course, and I was like, "Oh, I'm being engaged. This is quite good, and I'm just making this up as we go." And then I fell down a massive hole, and that was just like pure comedy gold. Like, to the point where at my work, there's a little bit of a celebration when you're at work for like 8 years, and they kind of give you a present, but they kind of do a few facts and figures. And my CEO got hold of that video and played it to like 1,000 people in the company, and everyone was just like wetting themselves watching me just go, ah! And nearly breaking my leg. And but I'm kind of proud and kind of like you said, like I could have easily cut that out because you look like a absolute muppet. But I put it at the front and went, you know what? Watch me fall down this hole. Like go for it.
Yeah.
So that one, I'm pretty proud of that one. And then I don't know. Like, I think they're just kind of getting just what you touched on before. Incremental gains. I'm trying to make everyone a little bit better each time. I'm not trying to like reinvent myself now. It's right. This is my flow, and this is what I do, and this is how I'm going to do it. And hopefully you enjoy it. But sometimes I might stutter on a line, or sometimes I might not say something quite right, or the lighting might be a bit rubbish, or blah blah blah, whatever. The B-roll might not be very good, might be a bit shaky or something like that. So just trying to tweak each one as we go now. And I think I'm seeing that with yours as well. And I'm kind of like taking some inspiration from you guys and from like Tia, from Chris, not only the bigger guys, but the people around me. Like your B-roll footage and your editing to the beat and that kind of stuff far surpasses mine. So I'm like, shit, I've got to up my game. Like if it's a video that I know is going to get a good amount of views because people are going to be interested in this shoot, then I'm going to put in that extra effort. But it might mean that that's taking me an extra 2 hours or 3 hours just to do like 20 seconds at the beginning. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. But I'm not going to do it for every video. Like the video I did the other day, I'm just going to try and get that out. Efficiently.
Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate that. Those comments. That's the B-roll side of things is one of those things that people just like the clips show up in the videos, and I sometimes think that people don't necessarily get how long it takes. Like if I want to do like a really cool B-roll sequence, I know that that's going to add like 3 or 4 hours to my editing and then also the creation of the content, rather than I can turn the light on and I can sit here and I can go, right, here's your shoe, and I can do video of the shoe, no problem at all, no B-roll whatsoever. But and I can get that done and edited and up in not no time at all. It still takes a while to edit, but the B-roll stuff I think looks really cool, and I want it to look cool, and it's something that I enjoy shooting and getting the depth of field and all that sort of stuff. And like learning about cameras is like, I had no knowledge of cameras or anything before doing all of this. So like lenses and that sort of stuff is like blows my mind now, like, and editing as well. Like I had no experience. I'm just a golf pro. I just did my PGA and I just teach people to play golf. Like that's all I do. And so the editing side of things is really, really cool. And
oh, go on. I was just going to say, as a message that I always like to kind of say, and like for anyone watching stuff like that wants to try and learn something new and whatever, it doesn't have to be golf, it could be whatever you want. But to like do a YouTube channel or whatever, it's not just taught me how to do a YouTube channel, which I now feel really competent in, and I really enjoy analytics and click-through rate and thumbnails, all that kind of stuff. Like, I really like getting my teeth into that. But as you say, editing, I didn't have a clue. I still shoot my videos on a camera, and it's about how good can I make that on a camera, on my iPhone. But it's how good I can make this with the limitation of an iPhone or whatever, or do the lighting, whatever. But yeah, I've learned about cameras. I've learned about editing. I built a website from scratch. I had no idea how to do WordPress, and yet I realised, right, I've got to have a website. I've got to do this, so let's do it. Interviewing people on camera, looking down the lens is an art in itself, to kind of learn how to look down the lens rather than look at the screen, that kind of stuff. For whatever reason, if in the future, and I've used it a few times now for work we had to do, we're doing some podcasts for our work, and I've gone, I can do that. Like that is work. We're going to pay X amount of money for someone to produce a podcast, and I go, I can literally do that in 10 minutes.
Just lump it on my pay packet.
Yeah.
My pay packet.
Don't forget me come the end of the year. But so if anyone's doing it, like if it's about content that you enjoy, crack on. Like just jump in, give it a go, because I guarantee you will learn skills that are so transferable somewhere down the line later in life. As you say, golf pro, you now know loads about cameras and filming and editing that you would never have ever known.
No. And that was one of my motivations for starting the whole thing, is because it was a turn of the year. It was 2017 to 18. And I just didn't want 2018 to just be exactly the same as 17 and 16 and 15 and the ones preceding it. I wanted to do something a little bit different. And that was one of the motivations for me starting, is I just didn't want the next year to feel same old, really. Talk to me about the Jacques Slade video, because that cropped up on my YouTube recommended, and I went, how has he pulled that?
That was sick.
I have to just very quickly, I don't watch many 40-odd minute videos on YouTube. My attention span is not that great. Yeah, I watched that all the way through. So just kudos, because that was really, really cool. How you managed that, do explain.
Cheers. Thank you. And you're the one that watched it all the way through. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's you know what it was, is that I've liked and commented some of his videos. The man is a legend, like, ultimately. And I've liked and commented on some of his videos. He's liked some and stuff like that. And I recognised that he liked golf, but it was a couple of years ago. He really wasn't doing much in golf. He'd do like an Air Jordan, but that was it, kind of thing. And I shared a couple of tweets with him when it was more trainer stuff coming out, and he liked them and commented again, oh, they're cool and whatever, and he's really nice to like interact like that. And then it was the Nike golf shoe video where I kind of took the piss out of Nike a little bit for all of the trainer remakes, and I cut down just the clip of me doing that little silly segment, and I put it on Twitter or something like that. And he commented and went, mate, like loads of laughing emojis or wherever it was. And then it had a link to the video, and then he commented on the video and said, this is hilarious. And I was like, mate, if Jacques Slade is commenting on my video saying this is hilarious, then that video is like, I'm well happy. No, another person don't need to watch it anymore. I'm done. And then knowing that he put that, a couple of months later, I was literally just, you know, like when you're in bed and you just kind of like scrolling through Instagram or whatever, and one of his tweets come on, he tweeted about golf. And I Instagrammed him and I just DM'd him. I did that horrible thing of slipping into his DMs and went, look, any chance would you fancy coming on my channel? I think I literally put in my message, I'm a no one. Like, I've got hardly any views and hardly any followers, but I would love to talk to you about golf and fashion. Would you like to come on? And I think it kind of helped that maybe he recognised my profile picture or something, or kind of seen a few things, and he just went, yeah, let's do it. And 2 weeks later, we filmed it, and I was bricking it. Like, I
can imagine. That's go on. You keep going. What was it like?
No. It was just like to talk to someone who's like just a celebrity ultimately, and he's a big influence on YouTube, as well as having a golf fashion presence. It's like it's kind of like there's a serious Venn diagram with Jack right in the middle of it. Yeah. And I just didn't want to screw it up, kind of thing, you know. So I just kept it casual. I bought some new lights. I bought a new microphone to make sure it sounded all right. And he was so nice. He was absolutely awesome. He was like really like welcoming and like really pleasant and really relaxing. We had a little chat beforehand. I asked him for feedback afterwards. I'm big on feedback. It's a big thing with work and stuff. And literally, mate, honestly, please, even if it was rubbish, tell me. Okay. What can I do to improve? How did you find this interview? That kind of stuff. And he was so nice. He was wicked. So massive shout out and thank you to Jacques Slade. That was wicked. Thank you for watching it.
Yeah, but it was just, you know, it cropped up on my news feed, and you know, having spoken to Chris the other day, and you know, it's one of those things is supporting. I feel like, and as he rightly said, we've got like a bit of a community where we all have roughly the same amount of subscribers, and we have the same sort of amount of followers and all that sort of stuff. And it's like we all love the same things, and it's just great to see. Like, you know, I saw the comment that you got from Rick Shields the other day, and it's like that sort of stuff is really, for me, to see other people and, you know, getting feedback like that and having the chance to use. I feel like I'm living vicariously through you when you're talking to what's really, really cool.
Yeah, no, it is great, and you're right. It is like a kind of, I was going to say weird little community. It's not weird. It's just a community. It's good, but this little community, and it is great. And I think there's different aspects to it. So like, I almost feel, I do feel a bit guilty because you probably could have had a deeper conversation with Jacques on a fashion level, but equally I was talking on a more of a kind of technical level and just the same golf level, you know. And the same like Chris, Jack could have easily have gone on Chris's channel and it would have been the same thing. I would have watched that all the way through, kind of thing. So I think that was really it was really cool, really nice of him, and fingers crossed I get to kind of do some more collaborations. You know, thank you so much for inviting me on your channel, because again, there's maybe people watching this who don't know who the hell I am, some middle-aged balding guy talking about golf shoes. But and again, hopefully we'll do something back, and we'll do some collaborations, and I think that's the way forward. It kind of keeps it fresh and kind of keeps everyone promoting each other, as you say.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And this is another thing for me is, you know, these conversations that I've had with everyone so far is, you know, to a certain extent, obviously, like I see your Instagram pictures and I watch the videos and that sort of thing, but I don't know you. Like, we've never spoken before. We've exchanged DMs before, but we've never spoken before. And this was the same for Chris, and it was the same for everyone before doing any of these lives. I've rarely ever spoken to anyone through Instagram on the phone. So to have like a video call like this, I feel like I know everyone who I've spoken to on another level now, and it keeps it heightens my interest in how well they're doing and how many views they're getting, and how many interactions. And you're talking to Jacques Slade, and Chris has got some other bits going on. It's not just obviously us three. It's a lot of people who are all in the same boat, and I feel the same for everyone. So this is one of the things that's really cool for me about these lives, is just getting to know people. You're not just a person on Instagram who shares the same likes as me. It's and that's what's really, really cool. And you have a pair of shoes next year, I'm hoping, that we're going to crack out. I did see the fine folks at FootJoy Europe did enter in. I don't know if they're still watching. They might not before by now. There we go. Obviously, I watched your video on them this morning. They released today, although there are a couple of websites floating pairs out, I think, a little bit earlier than they maybe should have been. But not anymore.
I felt bad because I saw one of them and then shared it, and then I see a thing saying, "Well, this is releasing." Then I was like, "Oh, delete that!" Like,
yeah, they obviously they know who they are. They may even be watching. I don't know, but I thought it was like right. I thought February 1st. Sweet, we'll find out about the shoe February 1st, and that'll be great. Yeah. Over on my Instagram, what we know about them now. There we go. So talk to me a little bit about the shoe. Obviously, having watched your video, for people who haven't watched the video, these are the new Hyperflex.
Yeah, new Hyperflex, and they had the Hyperflex 1 and 2 beforehand, and I said in my video that I tried them on, and I wasn't necessarily keen. I tried them a couple of years ago, but these are like literally complete rework. And main thing for this is that upper, and I think it's really, really interesting on my social media from the posts that I've done so far, is that it's almost, it seems like it's a love or hate shoe almost so far. Like there are a lot of people going, "Oh, that looks the nuts," and it looks really comfortable. And I've got to say, I think this is the most comfortable FootJoy shoe that I've tried out the box. And I know it's kind of a big statement, but for me, I'd be comfortable with it. To be fair, like literally, it's a spiked shoe that I've been wearing around the house for the last 3 days as a pair of slippers, like genuinely as a pair of slippers, because that upper, and it makes me sound like I'm a FootJoy salesman, and I'm not at all. Like I will call stuff out that I don't like, and I have got some things I'm looking forward to seeing how they hold up out on the course. But the way that pulls in, which here we go, it's getting there. There we go, and it really kind of. There's so much material across the foot now. It genuinely feels like a pair of slippers. It's weird.
When you said in your video about you wearing them around the house, the only images I got were the fact that your carpet must look. If you've got any carpet in the house, it must look absolutely mangled.
We've got one room because we were fed up of having cold feet in the morning. So we've got one room that's got carpet, and the rest is all wooden floor. So I was sliding around. I genuinely nearly did a video of me like doing the hoovering in them, like kind of almost Freddie Mercury style. I nearly went that far and went, you know what? That's pushing it for a first look video of a new pair of shoes. Interesting. I think there's some interesting things with this, and the thing that I highlighted but didn't really go to town. Look how little outsole there is on that shoe. Like, and I think that plays a big part as to how comfortable it is underfoot. Like, I don't think the mesh is quite Boost React foam soft, but it's getting as close as they're going to get to.
Yeah. It's not, but I almost feel like with FootJoy, it's not going to ever be that, because they don't necessarily want that, because obviously the squishier it is, stability-wise as a golfer, that's going to be tough to achieve maybe the level that FootJoy look for, and maybe the level that other brands don't mind moving past. Maybe FootJoy would turn around and go, actually, we don't want it to go that soft, because we want it to still feel that little bit rigid, but still, obviously, it's going to be comfy. But yeah.
I think it's almost like there's two sides of it, and I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head a little bit. Is with some of the brands that have got the very soft midsoles, that's their marketing. Bundled up. Anything that they can do, you can't get away from the fact that there's that midsole in it. And you go to some of the others and you think about FootJoy, like specifically FootJoy go out of their way to say that this is a midsole for golf, not a midsole for running kind of thing. You think, well, fair play. But same with the Under Armour, the Speed 4, like technically is a fantastic shoe that I tried last year, and I gave it best spiked golf shoe for me personally, because the amount of tech and the stability in that shoe was just outrageous. Wasn't the most comfortable. Like it wasn't the softest underfoot, and Under Armour said to me face to face, it's not designed to be the softest underfoot. Like that, there is a trade-off there in their mind and in their opinion. So it is really interesting how people can go their own way with it. But I think I can't decide whether, like in America with this shoe, I can totally see it, like in terms of it being spiked but lightweight, comfortable, very comfortable. I'm going to have to test this in a couple of weeks, hopefully, if we get out of lockdown in the conditions. This shoe is probably not designed for a winter in the UK. Like, in terms of that, as I say, as I come back there, it will probably hold up absolutely fine, but I am interested to see how it deals with it. But overall, in terms of comfort, these are comfortable. You have to let me know how you get on with them if you get yourself a pair.
Yeah, it's a shoe that I didn't own. I've worn FootJoy shoes for as long as I've been a PGA pro, and before then, one of my first pairs of proper golf shoes were. I remember I got a pair of black green joys, which were the first ever golf shoe that I had. They were $34.95 at the time when I started playing golf when I was a little younger. And my first proper golf shoes, I had a Dry Joy Pros, they were called, and they had like rogue design on the toe. They were white. Yeah, I felt like Ernie Els at the time, which was nowadays I wouldn't want to feel like Ernie Els out on the golf course. But style-wise back then, I used to have a baggy pair of beige trousers. Anyway, I'm not going to go into all of that. But I've never owned the previous Hyperflexes. They've never been a shoe that I look at and go, I really like how they look. And so for me, it's a lot about how they look. And what I like about these, and I don't know if I'm going to get a pair. I don't know. But what I really like is that knit upper looks lovely. The look of the shoe overall, I don't mind so much. Yeah. But I prefer the lace version, hands down, because I know the reason why FootJoy have boa on the back, and I completely understand why they have boa on the back, because it closes your foot in like that rather than just up and around the front. And I get that. Aesthetically, really dislike how it looks on the back of a shoe. Always have done, always will do. I like boa as a technology. I like technology. No problem with it as a technology. If it's on the front, on the top of the shoe, or on the side of the shoe, I'm fine. But on the back, I just don't like it. And so for me, if I was to look at getting a pair, I really like the blue pair. The blue pair look the nicest with the laces.
They've got, I thought the lace versions have got cross-knit. I've got vibes of the Adidas CrossKnit 3.0. I kind of look at them and go, they look comparable. And I know you're a fan of that shoe, so I can see why there's a light there. I think it's a weird one in that I think from angles, like for me, the outer profile, I think that looks cool. I'm not, personally, doesn't bother me so much about the boa on the outside. I get what you mean by it, but personally, it doesn't bother me. But then looking down on them, they look like a pair of slippers. Like they literally look like a pair of slippers. So it just depends whether or not you like that or not. And as I say, it's so far on my social media, it's been about 50-50. The other thing as well, it kind of depends on the outfit. And I know you're big on that. I get a lot of criticism for that at the moment because I've released a couple of pictures where I'm wearing granddad-like trousers. And I'm like, fair play. Like, all right, my trouser game is not on point. But you've got to pair this with a certain type of outfit. So for me to know what they're doing, in reality, they know that this shoe is for some people, and they know that it's not for others. But that's why you've got the premieres coming out soon, and that's why they did the quiet launch. I forget what they did the other day. It's like they forgot to announce a pair of shoes they launched. Was it Traditions? Was it
Traditions? Yeah.
Yeah. They've got a full suite of everything. When you look at it, you've got the Paracells, which sits somewhere in between. They've got the whole lot covered.
Yeah, that pair of shoes to me, that colourway is a pair of no-show socks with a pair of black shorts and like a real bright outfit, a real bright, polo shirt.
Yeah.
And the shoes are understated, the shorts are understated, and then you bring a little bit of colour to it with the top. I'd still prefer the lace version, but what I love about the shoe, and I will say this, what I do like about the shoe is FootJoy doing something different, and FootJoy bringing something to the table that 5 years ago the designers might have shown it to the hierarchy, and they might have gone, it's a little bit too far for us. Let's rein it in a little bit. I like the fact that they've gone, we're bringing this to the world. It's different. It's not something that FootJoy have done before. Progressive is the best word. It makes me think that in 3 years' time, they might look at this shoe and go, okay, so there are these parts of the shoe that we maybe didn't quite get. There are bits that a lot of people loved, and in maybe 3 years' time, we might get the next Hyperflex where you look at it and go, whoa, like what? Like how good does that look, and B, how good does that perform, and everything. I have a big problem at the moment with shoes. On course, off course, it's starting to really annoy me, because I've got no problem with changing my shoes in the car park. I have no need to wear my golf shoes from the golf club home, or from home to the golf club.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that, in terms of, I personally have not got a problem putting my shoes on in the boot of my car, even if there's no changing room. I ain't got a problem with that whatsoever. It was interesting to me that I had someone say to me, where they play in America and they're in New York or something like that, they said, well, I get the subway, and so it is literally easier for me to get the subway to wherever. And I kind of thought, well, fair enough, that's a market there, I guess. I'm kind of, and I think this could be interesting to chat with you about, is I'm of the opinion, personally, that if people want to wear trainers, sneakers, on the golf course, personally, I don't care. I literally don't care.
Yeah.
Because you might not get as much of performance, although I've done a video where I tested it on a TrackMan and on an indoor simulator. There was no performance gain for me to be had, really. 10 yards at max, but wasn't falling off a cliff. Wear trainers, like, if that's the way that you can express yourself, and I think that's why these sneaker companies, Nike and Adidas and Puma with the RSG and all this, are bringing back their classics, because it's how people are wanting to express themselves these days. Before, it might have been with the outfit, and now the shoes are more important to an outfit than the outfit almost these days.
I will definitely agree with that. For sure.
Yeah. So I don't care. Well, you want to wear trainers? Be my guest.
Definitely. So those shoes are out now. Not a sales plug. You might have them. You might be the affiliates king, so you might have something. You might have a link somewhere for something. I haven't got a link anywhere. But if you like those, they are available on all good places to buy golf shoes.
Yeah, £150 in the boa, 130 in the laces, I think. So yeah, go check them out.
They're like 150 in the boa that's a lot. I feel that's quite high.
It's weird, isn't it? You put it in comparison, you think the Paracel Carbon's 180, and that's an elite shoe.
Yeah,
but it's not the same market. I don't know. Yeah, it's in there. Interesting. I think there's another chat to be had. Maybe we should start a podcast of golf shoe chat, because I think there's a conversation there.
Yeah, I would love to start a podcast. That'd be a lot of fun.
I wonder whether anyone will watch it. Let us know. Would anyone actually watch a golf shoe chat podcast?
So, what's the plans for the year? Talking about, obviously, whenever I ask this to anyone, it's COVID dependent. So, talk to me a little bit about your plans for the year.
Well, I was meant to be going to Manga, and that's cancelled, so that's a shame. But we'll get another golf trip in. The boys have said that'll be going in. And actually, I've got a month sabbatical off work, which is a lovely thing to have.
Oh right, okay.
So I was planning to do a holiday with my family, and then a golf trip for like a week or something like that, up in Scotland. I've never played golf in Scotland, so even if I went by myself, I was prepared to just blitz 7 courses, 7 days kind of thing. And I'm looking at that kind of, probably like East Lothian kind of area. I think there's some cracking courses there that just
unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. if you do go on your own and you need some company, then give me a shout. I want to. Would you vlog your La Manga trip if you were going to go somewhere with the boys, that sort of thing? Would you vlog?
Well, initially they made me sign a disclaimer saying I wasn't allowed.
Right.
It was on the contract. But then that was the pre-channel, and now it's a bit bigger and stuff like that, only a little bit. They kind of said, you can do some vlogging if you want, but I wouldn't have vlogged the whole lot. I might have done like a 3-hole challenge and then enjoyed it with the boys. It is difficult to enjoy golf the same way when you're thinking about the camera.
Where to put the camera and that sort of stuff. And
yeah. So I would have done a little bit of vlogging, but again, hopefully fun content. With the Scotland one, I'd probably do the same thing again. Like, I'm not prepared to go full-blown the average golfer route of making like this 30-minute film,
Yeah.
But equally, I'd want to do something to share my experience with it. So maybe just be a couple of holes or something like that. But I kind of want to do it to experience it rather than to actually film it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, if you get a chance to play in Scotland, then man, there are so many great places to play for sure. So many great places. I mean, go to any part of Scotland around any coastline that you like, top sides, anywhere, you'll find some great golf, really great golf. So
so that's we'll see how it goes for the rest of the year. That's kind of plan wise. I was really enjoying. What I was really enjoying. I was gutted last year. I actually played like for the team, and where playing football and that kind of stuff. Like, all right, I was a 20 handicap then, so I've come down a little bit now, which means that I'll be able to actually play in the singles team rather than the pairs team. But I'm really enjoying that, like playing competitive golf properly against other clubs and stuff like that. So hopefully, if the world returns to normal, I'm bang up for getting a bit more involved in that, because I really enjoyed that, actually. It was a different experience. And then for the channel, I've got a target, and I would hazard a guess it's probably the same as yours, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. I'm aiming for 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is a stretch. It's a stretch challenge with the rate of growth I'm currently seeing. But you got to aim big. If you don't aim big, then you're not going to get it. So,
well, this is the thing is, I look at stuff like that. I haven't really set many sort of channel goals. I don't think for this year. I think because you just don't know what can happen. This is the thing is, like, for me, I did my weekly news video last week, and the part of the video that everyone gravitated towards was Rory's shoes.
Yeah.
Which that video all of a sudden goes and gets just over 3,000 views, and a ton of likes as well. And then I made the follow-up video just delving into a little bit more detail of what we know, and that's done 1,500. And then and then all of a sudden the subscribers, I was talking. It's like my fiance hates it. I like nudge her on the sofa. I've just got another 5 here. Like, where are they coming from? She's like, are you going to say anything else apart from, I'll refresh it a little bit later and there's another one. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And that's, you just don't know how, if you just have that, everyone just says, if you have that one video that like goes viral, then you could say, you don't know. Like, I'd like to, 10,000, I think would be one of those goals that you look at and go, doable with a really good year, I think. But it's just distant. It's just turning up, isn't it? You turn up and you show your love for it, then who knows what could happen.
Yeah, exactly. But that would be a massive success. If I had 5,000 subscribers at the end of the year, bear in mind I'm about to tick over 2,000. But if I had 5,000 by the year, that's a big success for the channel. If I had 10,000, then I'm having a party. It's great. So that's the plan.
Absolutely. So one of the things I was going to ask you is, product-wise, that's coming out. Is there anything that you've got your eye on? You're like, can't wait to review that. I need to review that, etc., etc. Is there anything coming out, or maybe that it's just launched in the last week or so, or maybe coming up in the not so distant future that you're like, need to get my hands on that?
Yeah, I think obviously you mentioned you've got the premieres. And I think that would be interesting for me, and I'm going to have to get my hands on a pair of them, because they're haven't really done anything with that traditional style shoe. Mine's been more the technical kind of, or the fashion based one. So I'm looking forward to them because I'm really interested to see how they feel and perform compared to all the other stuff that I'm used to. And I think they're going to be massive. So I think that will be really, FootJoy have got a great opportunity to corner a huge part of the market. They've already got it cornered, so they're almost doubling down kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how that kind of comes out. The thing that I'm kind of tempted to at the moment is more so on drivers. Now, I don't review clubs at the moment, and that wasn't my plan to, because I'm not. You're a far, far more capable golfer than I am. There's tons more golfers out there. You're a professional, for crying out loud. I can barely deliver the club to, I can barely deliver the club face back straight 1 out of 10 times. And yet, I still feel that there's an interesting gap in the market there, where at the moment I'm playing with a Callaway XR16 driver. So it's what, 6? Good driver, cracking driver.
I had one. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, 6 years old now. So that's a fair amount of difference. I'm really keen to see, right, the new Ping 425, G425 has really got my attention. And I want to make a video, right, you know what, if you want to watch a review almost, this isn't going to be the video. Like, go watch the reviews, the ones with the data, because I've not got access to TrackMan or the GC Quad. And even if I did, I can't hit the ball twice the same way anyway. So that literally doesn't make a difference. But purely from a 6-year-old to current driver, I think there's a lot of people in that marketplace as an average golfer. And so I think that I'm going to maybe invest some time and money and effort and maybe dabble in that area. And we'll see how it goes. It might turn out, you know what, it's not worth it. But it might be something that people want to see, and we'll give it a go. So there's no harm in testing it.
Lovely. And happy to. I know I've kept you for. I mean, we've done an hour, which has flown, absolutely flown by. Are you happy to do some questions and stuff? If anyone watching has thought, I think we might.
More than happy,
I think we might have had a couple already. Christian Foy has said they look like orthopedic shoes, which is not ideal, Christian, for the fine folks at.
Take the feedback on board, FootJoy.
What do you think? Ryan Snook has said, what do you think about Patrick Reed cheating? You seen that?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of the videos and stuff. I can't. Everyone's saying he cheated. I don't know enough, I hate to say it, that I can't definitively say. I've got to be honest that I'm not massively up on golf rules. I'm one of those ones that look to everyone else and goes, can I do this? Can I take a drop? Whatever. That being said, he's not my cup of tea.
Is he any?
Sorry?
Is he anyone's? I mean, he's Justine's, his wife's. But...
I know people that do like him. I've got some people who follow me who really defend him to the hilt to say that he's vital for the game because he's different. And I think personally, I wouldn't be that fussed if he wasn't playing at the moment. Like, personally, I'm not a massive fan.
Here's my take on that scenario, and I'm a big fan of the No Laying Up podcast. And
big time.
I had a bit of a car journey today, work reasons, put that out there, and so I had a chance to listen to the podcast, and they obviously spoke about it for like an hour. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to it from the.
No, I haven't listened to it yet.
The part where he screws up is he picks the ball up before the rules official comes over, and that's where he's not saying that he's cheated. I'm just saying that he did everything to the letter of the law, but when you pick a ball up, he had the ball in the palm of his hand as well.
Right.
He's not had the ball. If you pick a ball up to identify it, you hold it like that with a thumb and a finger, and then you make sure, because you're not allowed to clean it, you're not allowed to do any of that stuff to it. So when he comes over to bring the rules official over to assume there's an embedded ball, Well, how does the rules official know if it's an embedded ball if Patrick's got the ball in his hand?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
apparently the guy was prodding around on the floor trying to find a lip where the ball might have been in the ground at some point. For me, you lift it and you go, I'm going to put that back straight away, and then I'm going to call someone over to go, can you tell me if this is embedded or not? That's where I net out on the situation.
That feels like a pretty cut and dry rule.
Yeah. He shouldn't have the ball in hand until a rules official was there. So that's just I'm not saying he's cheated, but I'm just saying that if that's me, having played in competition golf where money is on the line, and you have a question of any rules at all, you go to your playing partners, and then if you can't work it out with your playing partners, you call a rules official, or you call someone at the club, or you call someone who has a rule book in front of them to go through before you do any touching of any golf ball, any lift, any clean, any relief, anything like that. That's where I net out on it. We're going to move on because I'm going to start offending people in the chat here because someone has said he didn't cheat, which I'm not saying he did. Would you preferably do equipment, or would you rather equipment or clothing to review?
Okay, so it's a cop out to say both. So I won't cop out. And at the moment, what would I prefer to do? I prefer. It's a weird one. I think I still prefer to do clothing. Well, I even say clothing. I say footwear. If we're talking about apparel, then personally I go the other way because that is so personal style and preference. Like in terms of whether you like this shirt or whether I like this shirt. What's up to you? You can look at it, you can see it. And apart from like going, okay, well it fits a little bit tight here or a bit baggy there. There's not a whole, but that's more in terms of, hey, here's the fashion and I'm into it and I'm going to comment on it and whether or not you like it, that's great. Whereas I kind of feel with shoes, there's not loads more, but for me personally, if you've got a narrow fit, it fits like that foot, it fits like this, it has this much grip, it pinches here, it takes time to break in, it gives you blisters, it's not very good, like it's the soft. There's a few more variables in there that I think people can kind of, and the other thing as well, and the reason why, a big reason for my channel, is that it's not an insignificant amount of money that you spend every couple of years. Like 150 quid, if back when I was 18, 19 or something like that, 150 quid is a lot of money.
Yeah.
To be dropping on something, and I want to make the right purchase. I'd hate to buy something and go, oh, I hate the way these feel. Yeah. So for me, I think at the moment I would definitely say golf shoes. And in terms of the tech, I think I do really enjoy reviewing tech from a geeky, nerdy side. Again, because the Garmin G80 is 500 quid. Like, that's a lot. My car didn't cost 500 quid. Like my last car, not this one, but yeah, my last car I think I bought for about 450. So my Hoover cost 400 quid. Jesus, I need to spend as much on a Hoover. But I think there's a lot to be said again for tech, whether it works for you, is it easy to use, is it sensitive, blah, blah, blah. You know, Marcus Brownlee and those guys, they're all about the tech. You know, I think, again, there's a bit of a crossover there. And not to say that I could ever be anyone like them, but it would be cool to kind of feel that you've got a knowledge base that you can give your opinion on the vast majority of golf tech that's out there. But as I mentioned before, when it comes to golf clubs, there's so many out there already. It's how much more can you add? And at the moment, I probably don't think I can add much more to that market.
No.
Is there anything that's ever tempted you? Like, you know, you've got more access and more capacity.
No, it's been done and done very well by a large number of people. I'm not saying that I decided to make a channel on clothing and fashion because there wasn't a lot of people doing it. That's not the reason why I started in any way, shape or form. But the clubs they interest me. I love clubs. I love testing clubs. I love all that stuff. But not to include it in the channel at all. Coops Bocker has said, what do us amateurs do when there's no rules guide? What you guys do as AMs is either call the pro shop and try and speak to the pro if you can, speak to your playing partners if you guys don't know. If you think you've got an inkling, play 2 balls just always play 2 balls. Play 1 ball out for the rest of the hole, having had the ruling that you think you might have got. If you are entitled to relief, play the ball out. Play 1 ball out there, make a score. Play the ball out as it lies and make a score. And then write both scores down. Consult someone at the end of the round. And then hopefully you'll be able to decide when you sign for it whether or not you made a 6 or a 5 or hopefully a 4 or a 3.
Yeah, I've never thought about playing 2 balls.
Not a lot of people play the 2 ball rule. It's not something that people. And obviously, if you're playing if you're playing for a 5er with your mates, then just do as you please. Just kick it out to the fairway. Just it makes no difference. Anyway, so if you could own a golf brand, who would you choose? Very quick.
Oh, golf brand. I think I would choose. You had it. Actually, you know what? You had him on the other week. I think Melbourne. I think that is cool. I think that's like the epitome of golf cool at the moment. And if you're going to own a brand, own a cool one.
Yeah.
I watched your video with him. That must have been wicked chatting to him. He is one cool, laid-back dude.
That was interesting. Really, really interesting. Like, I have to a big shout out to the person who made that happen, because I saw they joined the chat, if they're still in, so I have to pay a huge gratitude, a huge thank you to the guy who got that sorted. And yeah, for just to have a chat with him, the fact that he knows who I am now, hopefully, maybe he might have forgotten, but yeah, so just to have the chance to speak to him about, like, especially like the collabs. I don't know if you saw any of the Beats branding that they did for the friends and family packs of the Beats pill that they did and they gave to people, with like the gold detailing and the box. And it's like, oh, you look at that and like that's where the sneaker side of me comes out, where I'm like, I love that special box stuff. And when you buy a pair of shoes and you have there's a friends and family pair of shoes that come with like different packaging or whatever, that's when I get so much of look, it's just a box, like it makes no difference. Well, for me, I feel differently about the shoes if it has a special box.
Yeah, well, it's transcending the function of what it is, and it's giving it, it's giving it an experience kind of thing. Yeah, I think good luck to him. I think it would be great if there was more stuff kind of coming over at the moment, but fingers crossed there will be. But like, I read an article not so long ago with him. I think he was in. It might have been GQ or like even Vanity or something like that, like online. I was like, and I read it through like from top to bottom. I was like, he's one cool dude. He's just cool.
Yeah. He's like, and that's where for me those guys are so important. Is they are featured in GQ. They're featured on Hypebeast Kicks. They're featured in Hypebeast magazine. They're featured. And they're featured for me in all the places that I find cool before golf, like taking golf completely out of the scenario. I'm subscribed to I follow their Instagram page, Hypebeast. I've had the app on my phone, and my places like Complex and Sneakers and all that stuff I love that stuff, and it's a part of my life that I haven't seen my shoe collection video. If anyone has, if you haven't already, do go ahead and watch that. It's a part of my life that I love. And so to have golf start to bleed into that side of things is really cool. Like, that makes me really excited about the next however many years and what limited edition collections are going to look like, and because I think there's a lot of that that's influencing what's going on at the moment. And I'm going to finish up on one question, because I'm very conscious I've taken up a large slice of your evening so far, and I appreciate you giving up your time.
Thank you.
I'm going to do 2 questions because I don't want to leave on this last one. The last one is the worst shoe that you've reviewed. Now, that's very difficult because we obviously don't want to necessarily badmouth any brands in particular, but maybe your least favourite shoe that maybe you.
I can. Yeah. Maybe, my least. I'm man. Man enough's the wrong way to do it. I can take responsibility for it, because to be fair, the owner of the company's probably burnt any bridges with him anyway once they saw the review that I gave it. I would say, for me personally, the worst, I don't know, my least favourite shoe that I've reviewed so far is the Squares Spiked golf shoe, which very, very nice. It was great that they reached out to me and said, we're launching this new shoe. He shipped not one but two pairs over, because he shipped over a size 7 initially, and then I went, I can't even do anything with this. So he then shipped a size 9, spending a significant amount on postage from America, only for them to go, yeah, I don't really like these. But I felt it was, I got to stay true to myself, and I didn't slate the shoe for the sake of slating the shoe. I gave honest feedback and opinion on this shoe. And when I showed it to Jack Slade in that video, I quote Jack Slade, at the look of the shoe, he said, I'm not mad at it. So he didn't mind. It's very American in its kind of big, bulky style, and it's specifically designed to be a square, and it's got all these kind of square gimmicks around it. At the moment, that video is probably my top 5 performing videos, because that brand is getting a lot of traction in America. It won Best Golf Shoe at the PGA show last year, I think it was, and is targeted on that American market. For me personally, it is not a shoe that suits my foot whatsoever. It destroyed my heel, like absolutely destroyed it. And it felt a bit too artificial in the leathers that they used and the materials. It was a bit too big and clumpy, and I didn't really enjoy being in it. But there's very much a market in America for a bigger, comfortable shoe that has a squarer box, and they ride the cart all day, so they haven't got to walk 18 holes in it. They can just sit in it. So fair enough. I'm like, there is a market for this. Feel free. But here's my opinion. If you've got a skinny foot and you weigh barely 12 stone when you're soaking wet through, might not be the shoe for you. But yeah.
So to leave on your favourite shoe. So not necessarily your favourite shoe of last year. Favourite shoe that you've brought to the channel that you're like, oh, I'm so glad I own this pair of shoes. Could be anything.
Yeah, good question. What's yours?
My favourite shoe of all time is a FootJoy Icon. Now, I've not had a chance to, and a lot of people give me a lot of jip for that, because it's like, it's got no tech, the leather's lovely, and they're not very comfortable, because they're not. And I will testify, but I don't wear them for comfort. I wear them because, for me, they make the outfits that I like to wear pop off, look really cool, in my opinion. But this is why lockdown's so annoying, because I want to bring a video of the premieres to the channel, and I've had them since before Christmas. And they're sparkling white. They're just beautiful. And I can't wear them. And it's making me, they're sat downstairs by my back door, because that's where I go to take all my Instagram pictures in my garden. And I've been wearing them for quite a few pictures. So they're there. They're raring to go. I don't know whether or not they're going to be as good as an Icon, but an Icon is my favourite.
Fair play. Fair play. I think for me, and this is so okay. So I think, and this is going to sound weird because it's not a shoe that set the world alight or anything like that. It's the Puma, depending where you're from, the Puma Ignite. What's it called? The Puma NXT Ignite Disc. And the reason why I like that shoe so much is because it suits me perfectly. Like, I like the look, I like the silhouette, it's waterproof, it's got the disc on the top, and it gives me a really good fit, and my God, it's comfortable for me. And right now, it's right now, because it is now, and sorry Puma about this, it is now the shoe that I take my son for walks in the park twice a week. Like, that's what this shoe has become. And it still holds its own in the mud where people are wearing wellies. I've worn this to all my favourite golf courses, and I've just got a lot of good memories, and it's damn comfortable in it. So, and it's now been reduced to this, but it's getting awesome memories as well now.
Yeah, well, that's the part of having a favourite shoe is having memories behind the shoe, isn't it? That's it's one of these great things about, you get all these products, and often they can be lifeless, but they have a meaning behind them, or you have a memory attached to them. Then I think that's pretty cool. I really want to try those. I've never put on a pair of those at all. Like Puma were kind enough to help me out with a pair of the the RSGs.
Yeah, nice.
I need to definitely get hold of a pair of those at some point, because they're a shoe that I think I didn't initially like the way they looked, but they've grown a lot for me. And there's a pair of all white ones, the crafted, that they did with all white, a little bit more leather on it.
The brown leather, the tan.
Really like the look of those. So Eagle Apparel very quickly has said, if the Vice Adidas shoes aren't your favourite, send me yours. Sorry, Robbie, no chance.
They are lovely.
They are a very close second to me. They're a pair of shoes I thought I was going to buy, and I was going to flip them quickly when I got them. And the more they just sat here, the more I'm like, do you know what? That's actually a very, very special pair of shoes. And not going to be getting rid of those anytime soon, or ever. Actually, probably never, because I think they're going to go down as one of those pairs of shoes that, like you say, like with your son, it's, I don't have any children. I would like to at some point, and so if amassing the amount of golf shoes that I have at the moment, and it's only going to be more, I'll probably move on a few pairs at some point soon. But to leave something like that, and do you know what? It might not mean anything to my children. I like it, so I'm keeping it. So anyway, Kevin, I really appreciate you coming on for the chat. I've kept you for like an hour and a half, near enough, and a huge thank you to everyone watching, anyone who's tuned in at any point during the. How many pairs do I currently own? I think it's north of 30 at the moment, 30 or 35, something like that. They're all in my garage.
Oh, I'm on 20. You outstripped me on that. I counted them the other day. I'm on 20.
Well, 20 is healthy. That's a lot to choose from. So anyway, anyone who's watching this, thank you very much for tuning in at any point in the chat. The chat will be up on my Instagram feed for probably the next week, and then the video will make its way up to YouTube, where you'll still be able to go ahead and enjoy it on there for all of eternity. If you haven't followed or subscribed to Kevin at Golf Guy Reviews, make sure you do that, because not only are you getting some great reviews of product, but there's a few laughs in there as well. So it's definitely worth going ahead. Check out Kevin's channel, support him. It's what he's doing and what a lot of us are doing, I think is really, really cool. So
and sub to Sam too. Get involved on Sam. Don't be watching this and not subbing.
I appreciate that, man. Well, thank you for your time. Everyone else, thank you very much for watching. And I am back on Wednesday, where I'm sitting down with Lauren from Guilty of Golf, first female on the lives, which I'm very, very excited for. I might have to shave at some point, but yeah, going to be really cool to have a chat with her, all things golf. So if you look forward to if you've got nothing else to do, on a Wednesday evening, then do hop on. It'd be a lot of fun. But once again, Kevin, thank you very much, bud. And we'll collab. We'll either go somewhere and play golf, or we'll do a chat, or we'll do something. We'll collaborate in some form in 2021. So I look forward to that.
Definitely. Thanks, Sam. Take it easy. Stay safe.
Friend, see you soon, everyone. Thank you. Cheers, bud.